What's happening, guys? Welcome back to undergroundstrength.tv. I'm Zach Evanesh, and here we are doing some Q&A from the Instagrams. This question has to deal with strength and conditioning for high-level gymnasts. So I'm going to read the question, I'm going to give you my answer, and I'm going to give you a couple of resources to check into. This is from Captain O.D. Lost Boys. I've just had the opportunity to start coaching the boys ages 12 to 18 at a local gymnastics gym here in Lexington. These boys already train the skills of their events between 15 to 18 hours per week. I want to make them strong for life and strong for other sports, considering most of these boys will fall out of gymnastics eventually. With the volume of the training that they're already doing, I'm a little nervous about what serious strength training may do in terms of the CNS and overall ability to recover. I have expressed this to their gymnastics coaches. Right now, the compromise is to train them for strength 2 times a week for 1 hour. The rest will be small accessory work placed throughout their training days. Your thoughts? Thank you, Z. Evanesh. Oh, forgot to mention, I'm doing their strength and conditioning, programming, and coaching. Okay, so very good. Captain O.D. Lost Boys. If you ever saw that movie, Lost Boys, that shit was scary back in the day. So number one, I used to work with a couple gymnastic kids in my early days of training, and also when I was a teacher, one of my favorite students, he was such a worker. He was a high-level gymnast, and I remember I taught him in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, and his mom was considering getting him homeschooled because they wanted, or his gymnastic coaches wanted him to start prepping for the Olympics and training harder. And I remember he was extremely strong. I mean, he could do clapping push-ups all day, walking on his hands. He was super motivated. But I remember when he would do pull-ups, he always did kipping pull-ups. He actually had a hard time doing strict pull-ups. So he did a lot of those crazy kipping pull-ups, which is what they do. So what I would do is some very slow strength work. You don't want to put extra size on them. All the repetition work they do from their skill work gets them strong. I would do some very basic stuff, not really pushing the pace too much, almost doing like a 5-3-1 strength work, but not doing the max repetition work for these kids. That is for the 17, 18-year-olds. The kids that are 12 through age 14, 15, they're not going to be doing as much max work. You could do some farmer walks. You could do some shoulder health work, shoulder raises, band pull-aparts, sled drags. You see here back extensions or glute ham raises, back extensions off of the 45 degree. A lot of pull-aparts here. You could even do some strength work with the chain push-ups. Definitely doing sleds to build their leg strength and some basic work. And what I would do is just assess them, look at their performances, talk to their coach on a regular basis, ask them and say, what do you think John Smith is weak at? Are his legs weak? Does his upper body inhibit his ability to do certain skills? Because when I took a gymnastics course in college, and those of you guys that have read my Encyclopedia of Underground Strength, I think I have written oftentimes on my blog and in my book about Mr. Gonzalez. And I remember Mr. Gonzalez used to crush us with strength work. We used to do hand walking on the dip bars, on the parallel bars. We used to do knee tucks in front and behind the pommel horse. We used to do all kinds of pull-ups, muscle-ups. And he always said, guys, the foundation for the gymnastic movements is strength. And I remember him demonstrating a muscle-up while he was talking. And his body was just locked in, tight. His strength was just amazing, the things we saw him do. So you might have to do some of these powerlifting, bodybuilding exercises to develop strength on these athletes. What you want to do, of course, like any other sport, is not create a program that inhibits or interferes with their skill work, because that is the most important thing. So they shouldn't be doing conditioning where they walk out of the gym exhausted. So you're going to work on strength exercises, power exercises that contribute to their training. I would also look up Gymnastic Bodies from Coach Chris Sommers. He's probably the go-to guy. And also look up Carl Powley, Gymnastics WOD, WOD.com. These guys are gymnasts. They train gymnasts. They understand what it takes, and they would be much better resources than I am. But as strength and conditioning coaches, we don't just need to use practical application in theory. We also got to use common sense. And that's actually why a lot of the Russians and the Eastern Europeans were great at strength and conditioning in the early years, because they utilized training as general physical prep or general specific. They knew that the specialized physical prep was the sport itself, and they utilized exercises to build a great foundation, to reduce chances of injuries, to build confidence, and to build a wider base of physical preparation. Why? So they could train harder on the sports skills. I hope that helps you, Captain OD Lost Boys, and thanks for subscribing to my Instagram, liking and sharing, and thanks to everybody here on YouTube or Facebook. I appreciate you guys. Please share the info, and that's it, guys. Thanks so much. Peace. UndergroundStrength.tv.